self-serving. You're here for a reason. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness. Good evening and welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange. I'm here with your co-host, Frank Pierce. And we would like to say hello to all of you who might also have troubled minds. What's up, guys? I don't even know what day it is. It is Thursday night. Welcome to Troubled Minds Radio, and we're gonna do some different things tonight. We're gonna do open topics tonight. So if you guys have some thoughts on your mind, this show is live. It is Thursday night. It is April something or others. I don't know the date either, 20 something. So if you're listening right now, you probably know the date better than I do. But so we're going to take all phone calls, and if you want to be part of the show, 702-957-1037. You can also join the show by using Discord, and you can find that link on troubledminds.org as well on the top right. Download Discord. It is completely free, no long distance charges, and you can tell Mike, tell Frank what you think. Tell everybody if the show feedback is good, and pretty much all topics are on the table. We like to talk about conspiracy here. We like to talk about aliens, of course. We like to talk about parapolitics and shadow government type stuff, and kind of all the things that the technocracy and the major corporations, those things, the things that they don't want us talking about. Let me make sure I'm actually live here and you guys can hear me. What's up, gangsters? What's up, Droop? Let's see, Southern Oregon. Yeah, it looks like we got some action in here. Okay, we'll do shout outs in a sec. And like I said, phone calls we are taking. So watching the lines, if you guys want to be part of the show tonight at any point, please give us a call, and we will put you on, and we'll have a conversation. Hopefully the phones work. I've rehauled everything, I hope, and everything should work fine again. So we'll need a call soon. If you guys can help me test that, that'd be amazing. Okay, so here we go. Let's get to this, and then we'll get to the show and some other things. But first things first, per usual, then we're gonna pull a fast one on you right here, ladies and gentlemen. Your co-host, Frank Pierce.
Hello. Yes. I want to tell you. Tell me what? I want to tell you all about demons. What about the demons? The demons are here. They're here? They're here. With what? They're here, and I've sent them to you. You've sent them? I know you've sent them.
Okay. Well, Frank, are you there? What's going on, buddy? Okay. If anybody's been around a little while, you know what's going on here. No Frank tonight, unfortunately. So hate to pull the fast one on you, but it's you got just me. You got Michael Strange. So if you guys want to be help me roll this show and crank this out, I'd love it, because it's a little bit harder to do by yourself. But like I said, all topics are on the table tonight. If you guys want to be part of the show, I've pre-selected a bunch of stuff, and we will talk about those things as we go to kind of start the conversation. But this one's about you. So if you want to help me out and let's finish this show. Let's start this sucker. Let's finish this sucker. I'll do shout outs in just a second. Who can't you hear? Juan Carlos, who can't you hear? You can't hear Frank? Yeah, because he's not here. That's why. But yeah, okay. So we're going to do this anyway. So I got shout outs. We got Patrick gets first on Facebook. What's up? Hello from Salt Lake City. Hello from Las Vegas. Fred, good evening, gets a close second. We got Kelly, Josh, what's up? We got Justin from Michigan, Joe, Tracy, hello everyone. Philip, what's up? Sam, it says aliens are real, or aliens real. Joe says, what's up from Spring, Texas? We got David, we got Sam from Jacksonville, Florida. We got, who else? We got Michael, Little Green Men, Nino, what's happening? Luke, and let's see. Nino says, well, hello, you filthy aliens. Lol. Yeah, so that's cool. We like that. Philip from Southern Oregon, what's up? And let's see, Benjamin, Droop, and who else? Kelly says shared. Thank you, Kelly. Appreciate that. Dale, what's happening, buddy? We got Ringo here, and Steven, and let's see, I think Benjamin, what's happening, buddy? And Sherry, what's happening, Sherry? Sorry, Sherry, no Frank tonight. You just got me. And we got Timmy, what's happening, buddy? Timmy from didn't really say where. We'll get that in a sec. Yeah, Dale says maybe Frank was abducted. Frank had some problems, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on. He's okay. He had some things pop up where he had to bail at the last second. So yeah, that's what we're doing tonight. So and then hold on, quick shout outs on where is this? YouTube and on Discord as well. We got Paul, what's happening? Paul from Texas. And Philip is on Discord as well. We got Juan Carlos, Evan on Facebook. Sorry, on YouTube. And yeah, there we go. There we go. Now here we are. Can you guys hear me? Let's get some chat that actually tells me you can hear me, so I'm not sitting here talking to myself, because that would be a real drag at this point. Timmy from Maryland, DC. What's happening, buddy? From the center of the world, of the whatever political world. Lemon, what's happening, buddy? Thanks for showing up. Okay, so yeah, let's get into some of this. Like I said, it is an open topic, so if you guys want to talk about whatever, if you want to follow up on anything we've talked about to this point, if you have a new story we haven't talked about, if you have a personal story you want to tell us, if you have show feedback, if you just want to say hi, all good. Give us a call, 702-957-1037. Go to troubleminds.org. You can find the Discord link there as well, and I'm doing my best to watch all of it. So here we go. Let's get into one of these stories here real quick. I thought this was pretty good. Somebody's ribbing me decently on Reddit about this. So let's look at this real quick. We try not to talk about this one because it's very what would you say, controversial, right? Very controversial. But this is reported by Rolling Stone, and everybody knows about the Mueller report, and we talked about Seth Rich a little bit, and WikiLeaks, and this whole thing. And Rolling Stone says that Fox News and Sean Hannity are silent on the Seth Rich conspiracy because, well, they say it didn't happen. They say that there's no such thing, and the Mueller report completely debunked it because he found those missing emails or something or other. Something like that, I don't know. Anyway, so this is of course the official story. This is straight out of Washington, straight out of the Mueller report, and which has basically been the top of the news cycle for, I don't know, 2 years? Is it going on 2 years? I don't know. I think at least Hannity's been talking about it for 2 straight years. But, right, holy God, what about that? But, so, just kind of wanted to point out the fact that official stories. How do you guys feel about official stories? I think we're just in one of those probably situations where official stories don't sit well here in the show. So, as far as the Seth Rich bit, there's no, evidence one way or the other. You get an official story, the police, you get some other things. And the Mueller report says that he didn't steal the emails, he wasn't the WikiLeaks source, and the unfortunate murder of Seth Rich was just a robbery gone wrong. So, I mean, there you go. There's the official story. I don't know. Okay, there we go. Juan Carlos says he can hear me. Okay. So if one of you guys can hear me, that's pretty good. Yes. Let's see. Timmy says I sound great. Thanks, guys. Reading some comments here. Topics are all over the place, Dale. We're doing whatever tonight. So give me a call and get on here and tell me what's on your mind. Eric wants to talk about the hollow earth. That would be cool. Whatever you got, give me a call. Let us know. Or if you got a link, if you want a link, drop it in the chat. We'll pull it up and we'll take a look at it as we fly here. Benjamin, what's up? Benjamin from Mars, thanks for showing up. And Gregory said conspiracy theories died with JFK. It kind of seems like, right? Again, I'm not professing that the Seth Rich thing was one way or the other. I'm just saying, like we do here, it's hard to stomach the official story sometimes. So it is unfortunate. His family said back off Sean Hannity and threatened to sue and all this other stuff. So whatever, right? I'm not defending Fox News. I'm not defending the conspiracy theory per se, but I am saying that there's the thing about official reports, right? Once it's official, it's official. It goes down on Wikipedia, and that's history. That's how history rolls. That's how it goes. Evan, Oklahoma, what's up, buddy? See you there on YouTube. Yeah, so, all right, loud and clear. Droop in Colorado, what's up? John wants to know if Frank is lost or abducted. Let's say he's both. He's lost and abducted. I can't even say it. Abducted. Yeah, no, he's just out for the night. He'll be back. And Droop says Simpsons time traveler. Michael, let's talk about what's in Antarctica. Yeah, you know what? That's a good one too. So if anybody has some links on that stuff, drop them in the chat. We'll pull them up and take a look at them. Yeah, and Steven says that it is all staged nowadays. I kind of think so too. It's one of those unfortunate situations where, without the actual inside information, that's of course, top secret sources and methods, it's all redacted, all this stuff. Without any of that, we're just given a story. And unfortunately, we see that a lot of that is propaganda. And so we're left here guessing. Again, if all the official stories were correct, this wouldn't be much of a show, would it? Right? We'd just be reading Wikipedia and saying, hey, check it out, guys. The Seth Rich story's debunked. Let's move on. Yeah, no, I don't think life is that simple. I don't think history is that simple. And I definitely don't think anything from the government is that simple. So anyway, just something to get us going here. And all right, so what is in Antarctica? If you guys want to do that, Yellow Vest Movement, says Juan Carlos on YouTube there. Juan Carlos in California, of course. But yeah, so again, this one's about you guys. We'll talk about whatever. So Antarctica, I don't know. You tell me. We did a show on Antarctica, and there's been all kinds of talk about what's actually there, right? We had photographs of pyramids. We had reports of Admiral Byrd and Nazi UFOs and maybe Nazi bases down there. There's all kinds of wacky stuff about Antarctica, right? So it kind of makes you wonder, makes you suspicious a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. Benjamin says, been having some weird stuff going on since our filming permits came in for our trip. Yeah, let me know. Jump on Discord if you want to tell us about it, man. Because like I said, it's kind of an open couple hours here, and we're gonna just take it as we come. So, Juan Carlos, are you trying to say you want a yellow vest movement in the USA? Is that what you want to do? If you want to lead that, I don't know. Should I hand out your email address or something? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so I don't know. So Seth Rich, I just wanted to touch on that real quick. And of course, if anybody's read the Mueller report, we're trying to avoid that here because it's way too political and blah blah blah. So you can turn on Sean Hannity. He's talking about that shit nonstop, 24/7. So there it is. But here's another one. Let me move to this real quick as we're rolling. And we talk about science a lot on this show, of course. And one of the things about science is amazing, right? Science has given us our long modern lifetimes. Science has supposedly taken us to the moon and to Mars and beyond. And science is amazing. It's one of those things where it's kind of the basis of modern life. And unfortunately, science is also tainted by money, of course, by money interests and Monsanto and things like this, where they pay scientists to cook the books and give them fake reports and all this other stuff. So again, another reason why we do the show. So we'll get to some of this other stuff. Let me look up Antarctica on the fly here, and we'll talk about that as we go. But here's some stuff that I prepped pre-show, real quick style, because no Frank. But yeah, this is what we're talking about. So if you want, like I said, drop links in the chat, and I'll pull them up, and we'll talk about them on stream. We'll do it right here tonight, doing this live. So again, Thursday night. If you're listening tonight, this is live. You can call us 702-957-1037, and we'll put you on the show. You can also get on Discord, which you can find at troubleminds.org, and there we go. All right, so now this is interesting. Speaking of science, the universe is expanding so fast, we might need new physics to explain it. All right, let's settle in for a sec. So it seemed to be one of those consensus type things, right? We've heard this before about scientific consensus, that the universe is expanding. Right, and we've narrowed it down to a particular speed. Right, we know how fast everything is going with dark matter and dark energy. I'm not an astrophysicist, but right, that's the general gist of things. But of course, like any good science, they're always learning more information, and they're always trying to fill in the gaps and explain things we don't know. Right, that's good science. But this one, okay, two measurements of the Hubble constant disagree. So here we go, straight from the article. The revised expansion rate is about 10% faster than predicted by the observations of the universe's trajectory shortly after the Big Bang, according to the new research. The study also significantly reduces the probability that this disparity is a coincidence, from 1 in 3,000 to just 1 in 100,000. So there we go. Rewrite the physics books, guys. This is pretty crazy stuff. Again, yeah, this is where Frank would tell me something smart about this, but I'm waiting for you to call me and tell me something smart instead. Let's see. Reading some comments here. Juan Carlos says, I'm down. I've been trying to gather people, but not too many are awakened. But a lot of them are scattered. I can send a shout out, and the people from California who see the truth, you know we're in. Yeah, agreed, man. It's one of those things, right? Like these topics are, what are they? They're taboo. That's really what they are. You're not allowed. It's wrong think. It's Orwellian, right? It's what is it? What do you call that? It's the thought police, right? You can't think these things because if you do, you're a science disbeliever, you're a climate change denier, or you're a this or you're that, or you're a racist, or you're something, right? You just can't you can't think. You can't think for yourself, and you can't ask questions, and you can't look at these things yourself. But we do it anyway. We just do it anyway. All right, let's see. Michael says fallen angels. Yeah, you want to talk about fallen angels? Let's do it. Stephen adds, angels and aliens are maybe one and the same. Yeah, that seems to be a theme that comes up quite often, right? Definitely. Droop says the black hole recent photograph. There's an interesting thing about that, actually. So we were putting up a YouTube video, and on, let's see, it was probably 3 or 4 shows ago, and we actually covered that, right? The TED Talks with the black hole itself and these types of things. Well, they say the army of misogynists came out and they slandered the girl that did part of the algorithm and was on the TED Talks and all this other stuff. So it was like, a big kind of a drama scandal thing or whatever. You know how it goes. But so we were tagging some of the keywords for the YouTube shows, and of course, that was part of that was the TED Talks about the black hole. And so I was, you put the keyword in, and it popped up and said, using this keyword may demonetize this video. And so you can't even put TED Talks black hole as a keyword in your video because it will demonetize you. So again, right? So it's kind of like we talk about this a lot, the technocracy kind of controlling things, right? And if they can't control the conversation, they can certainly control the money. And if they can control the money, then it's one way to get back to the top and control the conversation. See how that goes. Yeah. Anyway, so I thought it was pretty curious. Thank you, Droop, for mentioning that. Steven says, I've seen a black sphere floating by the sun. Yeah. If you guys have pictures of any of this stuff, send it over, and we'll pull it up and check it out. What's up, Gabriel? How you doing? Thanks for showing up on YouTube there. Michael says, science is all theory. There's no right or wrong. Things will be unwritten time after time with newer theories throughout the years to come. Yeah, exactly. Right. It's that's the thing about science. It's never settled. It's never actual. This is done and we know everything in the universe, because that would be absurd. So, yeah, I mean, and I think that's the problem, right? And actually, on that topic, I actually pulled this out. Check this out. Speaking of science, let's go to this. This is reported by Wired.com. And on that exact note there, let me see. Okay, yeah, we're good. Okay, you guys can see it. The title is Scientists Need to Talk More About Failure. Right? You know what that means? I agree with this 100%. And it's because they don't. Because everything that we do, right, you're not supposed to question science, right, or you're a denier, right? Well, if they were more open about the times they fail or the times they're wrong, then, we wouldn't be in this situation where they're trying to control the narratives and trying to tell us what's going on and try and, just, you know how it is, control everything, control the speech. Yeah, what's up, Daniel? Thanks for showing up on YouTube there. I see you. It is open show topics tonight, so if you guys want to talk about whatever, drop a link in. I'll pull it up, and we'll talk about whatever you got. If you want to give me a call and get on the show, we'll put you on 702-957-1037, and go to troubleminds.org. A little help would be fantastic tonight. Some of the usual suspects who've maybe called before, jump on here, and you can kind of take up some time and tell us what you think, and plug your channel or whatever you got, whatever you guys are doing out there. It's no problem. So, yeah, all right. But yeah, that's it, right? So scientists need to talk about failure. And, I think we're probably, again, preaching to the choir here. And that comment actually prompted this article I pulled up. Interesting, right? So we kind of have this same mentality for the show. And yeah, all right. Let's see. I'm going to go to the comments here. What's up, Christopher? Greetings, fellow Earthlings. Sorry I'm late. No problem, man. You're here. That's what's important. And, okay, so the great comment there, Michael, about science is all theory, right and wrong. And there we go. So I think this is true, right? So if we heard more about science failing, then we would be more inclined to question scientific research, right? Which is okay. I mean, it's if you're putting something out there and people are questioning you and you've done the research, you should be able to answer the questions, right? It should be no problem. But we live in a day and age where the media cycles and they try and defend each other. The media tries to defend the powers that be, right? Which, like we say, is the major corporations. The technocracy is who's controlling that. And academia, they're all kind of in the same news cycle where they kind of back each other up. And unfortunately, this is what we end up with, right? Where science is supposed to be gospel, and that's really not the case because they do fail. Like case in point, what happened with the Israel rocket that just hit the moon, right? Like that again. And this is weird. If you're out there, you pointed this out on the YouTube video there. I can't remember your name. It'll come to me in a sec. Sorry, guys, a lot going on. But if we got to the moon before, right, easily, or not, say not easily, it was a challenge, but we got there. So why are we crashing things into the moon now? It's been 40 or 50 or 60 years since we had the technology to do it. So with computers changing and the way they have, and all the rest of the things happening, the way it has technology-wise, why is it harder to get to the moon? Why are we still crashing things into the moon when supposedly we landed on the moon in 1968? It doesn't make sense, does it? It kind of really doesn't. But Israel just, bam, crashed one in the moon there. Okay, let's see. Nino, what's up, says, Planet X is a planet killer. We need it? We need the planet killed? I don't know what you mean. What's up, Emin? Thanks for showing up, buddy. Let's see. Benjamin says, Noah from Apex made Coast to Coast again. This time supposedly showing an actual pic of a T-Rex. Yeah, we asked him to be on the show. We're still waiting for Noah from Apex TV. If anybody has a hookup or knows Noah, let us know. We'd love to have him on the show. Yeah. Anyway, like I said, we're just kind of, we're kicking it tonight. We're Frankless, so if you guys are, actually, I should just put up a poll. If you guys want to continue it this way, or we can just round it up on Sunday and, get Frank back and let Mike drink some beer instead. Let me put up a poll. If anybody wants to call, 702-957-1037, and I'm going to put up a poll. Continue this show, or let's just come back when Frank's back on Sunday. Okay, so, that's what we're doing. So it is open topic, so if you want to drop a link in the chat, on any of the chats, we'll pull it up on the stream and talk about that specifically, try and parse it on the fly and talk about these things. And otherwise, we're just kind of going to get through this and kick it and have a chill stream tonight. Not really going to cut this up into a podcast or anything, so this will go into the vault and disappear. So if you want to call and tell me I'm an asshole, this is a perfect time. So you're welcome to do that, no problem. All right, so let's see. Continue the show. Put up a poll. Put up a poll on Facebook. And let's take the poll. Let's see what you guys think. Option 1. How about that? And then, how about that? There we go. All right, so poll's going up on Facebook. All right. I misspelled Frank. Okay. Figure that out. Okay. Frank. There it is. Okay. All right, there we go. So we got a poll up. So we got to continue the show. We're Frankless tonight, so we were without Frank. We're going to continue the show, go for the 2 hours, talk about whatever, or let's kill it, wait for Frank. So you won't hurt my feelings. So, like I said, I got beer to drink. It's all good. But otherwise, so back to this article real quick. So scientists and failure, right? Failure is one of those things. We're humans, right? Like it's kind of in our DNA, right? Humans fail. Like if you open a history book, I'm pretty sure you'll turn page after page after page after page of fail, right? It's there. It's been there. It'll continue to be there. It's part of who we are. It's part of what we do. But in failing, right, and persevering, we do some amazing things because you can't always fail. You succeed. And again, like I said, longer lifespans, spacecraft, airplanes, all these things, right? All these things that we have. So it's one of those things. All right, we got a call here. Do take the poll. Oh, you guys aren't going to let me have a night off, are you? All right, so take the poll. We are Frankless. We're going to continue this tonight, or we're going to just come back Sunday when Frank's here. All right, here we go. Here we're going to take this call. Let's take this call. What's up, Philip? You're on Troubled Minds with Mike and without Frank. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. How you doing tonight?
Doing okay. Like I said, just trying to rush and put this shit together. Frank usually does it, so we're just kind of shooting from the hip today. But all good, right? Whatever. Whatever. What's on your mind, man?
Hey, Planet Nibiru. Like, what do you guys think about all that?
Nibiru, Planet X.
Yeah, Planet X. There you go.
Well, it's
You think it's a real thing, or do you think it's just some bullshit cover-up? Because, like, I've been seeing videos around Facebook a lot, and you can tell that they're not edited or anything like that. I mean, the reactions that people are giving off and all that stuff, and they're seeing, like, another planet in the skies. It's pretty trippy.
Yeah, okay, so I haven't seen a lot of the conspiracies on Planet X itself. I try and follow the science on it because they've talked about it quite a bit, meaning that, like I said previously, actually, let me try and pull this up while we're doing this. I could probably pull this up and get it up here, but it's one of those things
I don't know a lot about it.
Yeah,
I'd
okay.
like to know more about it.
Okay, so there's actually, let's see, hold on. Pull up Planet X Science real quick. So there's these orbits in the outer solar system, right? That are let's see, here we go. That are they're oblong. They're oblong orbits, and they all swing to one side, right? On these tiny asteroids and other things here. So let me pull this up. I saw this just a couple days ago. There was a really good article that described this, and so one of the biggest things is since all the orbits swing to one side in an oblong orbit of all these tiny asteroids. What it does is it's actually suggesting that on the opposite side of the gravitational sun orbits, that there would be a giant mass over there. So there's either they speculate there's a ton of dust that has some sort of mass calculation that would be massive and would be hard to miss, or there's a bunch of other like similar rocks, like the smaller rocks that kind of offset the oblong orbit, right? But the other theory, of course, is there's a giant mass, like a huge planet kind of lurking way out there that's on a huge orbit that swings, I don't know, like it's 20, 30, 40,000 year orbit type of thing. Like it comes by every so often. And it you know, scientifically here, I'll put this news story up.
And they're saying like that could have caused the Great Flood before and all that other stuff. Like
yeah.
The world has pretty much ended and came back and Ice Age and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, exactly, and that's part of it, right? So there's actual real NASA type science. You know, and I say that a little bit tongue in cheek, but it's that actually hints at this because you know what I mean. Like you know, I'm preaching to the choir here. So, but no, it's a thing. It's supposedly a thing, and they still haven't found whatever this mysterious body is that's changing the orbits of these smaller objects.
Are you sure they haven't? I mean, are we sure that they haven't found it? And they're just trying to, not tell us.
Well, okay.
Everybody's going to quit doing what they're doing and freak out and all that shit.
Yeah, it could be. It totally could be. Because, again, right, so we're only given the official stories. And, just like we started with Seth Rich, there's an official story. And so as people, we kind of, we either fall into believing that official story or we, are not satisfied with those things. And so I think you're getting at that where, yeah, that is the official story. We haven't found it yet, but maybe they do. Right. Maybe we know this thing's out there and maybe for some reason, we're not seeing it. I think the only thing, so the skeptical part of my mind for that would be that we have a ton of amateur astronomers, right? And we have YouTube and social media. So it would take like a gigantic state intervention to really stop all that information from like a group of amateur astronomers from finding it and reporting it type of thing, So that's the only thing that makes me go about the cover-up, right?
Unless they don't have strong enough power, telescope and stuff. Well, like that one place got shut down for a while there. Maybe they found it. And they're like, oh, we can't let the information out,
Yeah, no, it could be. It could be. But again, so
they never did say what happened there, right?
No, I don't think so.
Did they?
I don't think so. It's official stories, right? Back to that. It's they try and explain things away, or yeah. Anyway. So okay. So what do you think? What do you think about Planet X? Is this? So this goes back to the Anunnaki, and that it is that huge orbit thing, and it did cause the flood, and so there's a lot of speculation about this. Do you believe that?
I honestly do. Like, no lying, no joking or kidding around. I believe it's there. Like, especially with these videos that I've been seeing, like, you can usually tell what's CGI and what isn't, and, you know, how people react and other things like that, and these people are just pretty much freaked out, like screaming for God when they see it and stuff, and I mean, they're a trip to see. And like I was reading this article the other day, it's talking about the chemtrails, so, like, to say the places where it could, you know, likely be seen at, they will dust really heavy on them days when it's supposed to be that close in the orbit or something like that. So people can't just look up and see it.
I see. So
and
like
some of these videos, you can actually see another planet or something like that behind the clouds and all that.
Okay, so like
sun or anything.
Yeah, like a larger conspiracy here. Like they're actually trying to block this from being seen. I can see something like that. And there is evidence of actual chemtrails. That's not a myth anymore. They call them stratospheric aerosol injections. That's the scientific term. If you want to look that up, that's an actual thing.
Trump just walked a plane, didn't he?
I'm not sure about that.
Out a whole chemtrail thing.
Did he?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I read an article about that the other day too. Had a picture of him walking through one and all that stuff.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see that.
Stuff to look up into.
Yeah, definitely. If anybody's got that link, drop it in chat. We'll pull it up. Again, so it is open topics, guys. We're doing whatever. This is Philip on the phone, and we're kicking it. We're talking about stuff. We're talking about chemtrails now and nibiru first, and yeah. What else, man?
Well, I don't know. Frank ain't here, so it's kind of like, yeah, where's Frank? No.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's fine.
I mean, you're great and all, but you guys make the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's got the time to do the research, and I don't. So we end up in this weird cycle where if I end up like this, I'm like, but it's okay. It's okay.
For sure.
I appreciate the call, man. Your enthusiasm is infectious and keeps us going. Like I said, people, when I get spammed, and I do, of is there a show tonight? What's going on tonight? It's fantastic because it's not just you. It's lots of people, and so you know what I mean. It kind of makes it hard for me to be like, oh, Frank's not here. Fuck it. So let's
I look forward to these nights.
I appreciate that, man.
I look forward. I put the kids down to bed and I tune you guys in.
Appreciate that, man. That's good stuff. And you're from Oregon, is that right?
Yeah, Southern Oregon.
Okay, yeah. So Philip from
I'm not
Oregon.
afraid if anybody knows. No.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm not gonna give your address out or anything or your last name or. It's all good. It's all
For
good.
sure.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else while we got you on the phone?
No, that's it, man. You guys have a good night. I'm gonna keep watching as long as you're on.
Okay, appreciate that. We're gonna keep on trucking. We're gonna do the usual 2 hours, and there we go. Appreciate that, Philip from Southern Oregon. Thanks for calling, my man. Okay, so there we go. Phone works, and we're back up on that. So give us a call, 702-957-1037. It is open topics. And what do you guys think about Nibiru? Do you think it's one of those actual Anunnaki things? You think it's a real thing? You think it's a myth? You think it's actual science? What's actually going on with that? I don't know. That's one of them good ones, right? Couple of things in chat here. Darwin wants to know, why even go live and record if you wanted a night off? I didn't want a night off. I just want to know if you guys are like, nah, maybe you want a night off. Yeah, I'm fine. I wouldn't be here if I didn't want to be here, so it's all good. Let's see. What else? All right, let's go back to the asteroid that we're orbiting here. Let's pull up the asteroid. Yeah, there we go. We're going to mine that asteroid. Okay, so, all right, read some sounds here. Gabe says, sounds in the sky. There are a lot of videos on YouTube. Yeah, okay, if you guys want to talk about that, drop one in chat, and we'll pull it up and take a look here. Steven says that local people and people worldwide have heard the sounds. And, yeah, okay, and Benjamin's on Discord. Okay, let's get Benjamin on. Let's see. Oops, all right, here we go. All right. Benjamin from Mars. What's happening, my man? Testing. 1, 2. Can you hear me? Testing.
Mike.
Yo, what's happening? Can you hear me? I hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you pretty good. What's going on, buddy? Brother?
You already know. Thursday night, doing some Anunnaki talk, some stratospheric aerosol injections and some Seth Rich, and this is how things go. Like, things kind of go in weird orders around here, so that's what we're doing. What's on your mind, man? How you been?
I've been having a lot of weird stuff going on since this trip. I've been trying to lay low. Me and some people of mine getting ready to go on this trip in August, and I haven't been actually on the show. There's been a lot of weird stuff. We got our filming permits in, and got everything packed up, and everything just waiting on the trip, and been going through what's called, I guess they're called time loops. I don't know if you heard anything about that. Not like losing time, but like time loops. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so. Where you explain it, and we'll see. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean.
I haven't really dug into it that much. Ever since we got our filming permits, another buddy of mine that's supposed to be going on this trip with us in August, um, he went missing for a week. And when he actually was found, he was found 600 miles away, and it was actually on the local news here where I live at.
Wait,
And I've been trying to pull up the news website, but I keep getting kicked off because I want to pull it up and basically download the clip and try and share it to Discord. But every time I do it, I keep getting kicked off Discord. That's
send me
one.
send me a direct message on Discord with his name if you can, and I'll try
Yeah,
and Google it and pull up the article, see if it's localized to you or if I can help you get it up.
the time loop thing, it's like it's kind of hard to explain. It's like I'll look at the time, um, and the time, let's say like earlier, it happened earlier. I looked at the time and it said 3 o'clock, and I went to the bathroom and used the bathroom and came back down, and I was talking to my son, and my son basically said, "Look, Dad, the time sped up," and I kind of looked at my watch and it was 7 o'clock. Those types of time. Um, Another thing that's happened is I'm being followed again. This time by government people. I was approached by one last week. Matter of fact, wanting to know why I wanted to go. I'm not going to say the name of the place that we're going to. I know I've kind of talked to you and Frank about it before. They want to know why we're going. So I kind of told the guy, why we was going, and he told me that part of that area was restricted, which it doesn't show that it's restricted on the maps or anything that we've checked on. But he basically told me that I could be subject to arrest and how did he put it? Federal. I could be charged with a federal crime. And I basically stated to the guy, I said, look, if it was a federal crime, then why did they give us our filming permits to film? Because basically what we want to do is we want to hike and camp out for about a week or so, and try and get some V-roll of this supposed hangar door. And I told the guy flat out what we was going to do, and he basically threatened me. About 2 days after that, well, 2 nights after that, I was visited. Um, I woke up we fell asleep about 9 o'clock. I woke up about 1 o'clock in the morning, and there was this weird knocking sound at my front door. I go down and I open the door, and I shit you not, there was a child standing at my front door. The child didn't open her eyes. She was pale white. She had, I want to say white hair, but it wasn't white. It was like a glowing blonde color. And she just stood there with this weird expression on her face. So I shut the door. I freaked out and I shut the door. I didn't say nothing to her. I just opened the door, and then happened to look down, and she was just standing there. Um, Another thing that happened too is I believe I was abducted again because I have this weird mark on my left shin that almost looks like something was drilled into my leg. I don't know what it is. I haven't figured that out yet. I tried digging it out earlier and it wouldn't come out of my leg for some reason. Another thing too is another friend of mine that's going with us says that he's been followed by some suit guys. Now, he didn't specifically say whether or not these guys are men in black or government or anything. He said they've been following him to and from his house, to work, to from work, to go pick his wife up at her job, and basically, just all kinds of weird stuff. I woke up, I want to say it was about 2 nights ago, and it almost seemed like a dream, but it wasn't a dream. And there was this weird person. I can't tell if I was dreaming or not. And there was this weird person standing in my living room. And my son, my 8-year-old, he happened to be sitting up on the couch. And like I said, I can't tell if this was a dream or not. It seemed more like it was an abduction more than it was a dream. He was just dazed. I was snapping my fingers at him, and he wasn't responding. I was shaking him. He wasn't responding. So it's been a lot of stuff that's been going on. That's why I haven't really been on Discord much, and that's why I haven't really been able to tune into you guys' show for the past couple weeks, because, well, actually the past month, because we're actually trying to lay low a little bit. We're not trying to like put it out there that this is going to happen until after it happens, until we get footage and stuff. But it's
Gotcha.
just,
Okay.
I just wanted to call in and let everybody know that, I'm still watching the shows, and I'm still, researching when I can. But, I'm just trying to lay low right at this point in time until after the trip.
Appreciate that, man. So you've got a permit to go film, and what you're going to film was it? I can't remember if it was paranormal or some kind of maybe UFO landing spot. Can you tell us that much?
Well, I brought up, I don't want to say exactly where this place is at, but I brought up to you and Frank a few months back. Actually, it's been almost a year now. I came across the video on YouTube, and it shows a family picnicking, and the guy's filming, and it shows an actual UFO flying out. It shows what looks like a bay door opening in the side of a mountain, and it looks like a UFO flying out of the side of the mountain. And I brought that up to you and Frank about a year ago, and I was kind of talking to some friends about it, and we all had basically planned a trip, but we was waiting on our filming permits before we could actually say yay or nay on it.
Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about because we've talked about that spot quite a bit.
Exactly.
Okay, I won't say, but okay. So it's kind of a UFO hotspot, and you did get approved for the filming permit, but after that,
Yes.
some weird things have been happening.
Yes. Like I said, we got approved. It took us a while to get the filming permits. We got approved. We just got the permits in about a week and a half ago. And I'm actually holding on to everybody's permits until the actual trip, because I want to make sure that when we go, everybody has the proper paperwork in case if we happen to get stopped or arrested in a restricted area, we have the proof proving that, we have the permits to film. I had filed an FOA request. I believe that's what it was when my lawyer filed it, for information related to the military in that area, about it being restricted, and I haven't heard nothing back. But like my lawyer said, if I had already talked to the Park Service and they state that it's public land, then how could it be restricted? Because after I was threatened, I went and I talked to my lawyer, and he filed for the request of information to find out if part of that area is restricted area or not.
Yeah.
So it possibly could be a military base, a top secret military base that's testing UFOs, or it could be an actual UFO base. But I won't know if it's actual military or not until the request comes back. But the time loop thing, man, the weirdest part about the time loop, I'm not trying to hold you guys up or anything, because I know
You're good, man.
you
Take your
got a
time.
show that's going on.
Take your time, my
But
man. You're part of the show. Take your time.
But the weirdest part about me having these time loops is it's been occurring an awful lot since I had gotten those permits. Because right after I got those permits, I was visited in a black vehicle. There was a black vehicle that was actually parked across my street. And there was, I'm going to say it was a Men in Black. It was two men who looked real thin, and the windows wasn't tinted. There was no tags on the vehicle. They were just sitting there facing forward. And I kept, I kept walking outside because my wife came in and she said, well, who's the people parked across the street? Because my neighbor, they were parked in front of my neighbor's house. And he called me and he said, are you guys okay? And I said, yeah, we're fine. Why? And he was like, well, there's some people that's parked out in front of my house and I don't know what's going on. And my wife came in and she had said that they basically followed her from work, and she pulled in the driveway and they pulled out in front of his house, and they sat there for a good hour and a half. I didn't really get a good look at them to tell if they were government or men in black. I really couldn't tell at that point. But as far as the time loop thing, man, it's like it's weird because I could be outside 1 second and I could look at my clock. I could look at my watch. And like last Saturday, I'll give you an example. This past Saturday, I was out in the backyard playing playing catch with my 8-year-old. And I looked down and it was 12 o'clock. Well, I go inside to get me some Gatorade and I come back out and I look down at my watch again. It was 5 o'clock. So I'm like, okay, well, what's up with this? Something weird has been. On that note too, there's been an awful lot of UFO activity near my house as well since all this has came out. And there's a person on Discord that's been trying to get in touch with me, but I haven't really been able to actually talk to him like I want to. He knows who he is, and he's been helping me out with uh, trying to figure out, the races and stuff like that, alien races and stuff, and trying to help me figure out what's been going on. But I haven't, like I said, I made the decision to kind of lay low. And I haven't really talked to anybody on Discord at all. This is, like I said, this is the first night I've been on Discord in a while, dude.
Okay. Yeah, I don't blame you, man. Like if that's what's happened to me,
Yeah.
I'm not sure what I'd do. Yeah.
But what's weird, Mike, is we was in the grocery store earlier, and there was this woman who had green eyes. It was almost like a weird green color eyes, and she had blonde hair, and she was like white as snow. And I mean, she was medium build for a female. She was about 5'6", 5'5", maybe 5'6", and she approximately weighed about 110, maybe 120 pounds. And I wouldn't say this if the other people inside of Walmart didn't notice this, but the cashiers even noticed it. And the manager approached me earlier while we was in there, and he's the one that kind of basically said, you know you're being followed? Because we go to the same stores every time that we shop. And he kind of happened to take me in the office, and he showed on CCTV, because they have cameras inside Walmarts, and I know the guy, I know the manager. And he said, look, here she is. This woman was walking around trying to find us. So what I did was I had my wife walk out of the manager's office from the back area and walk around to where she could see her, just to see if she would follow her. And she followed her in the next hour, and she approached her. And what's really weird about that is my wife don't even remember none of that. So, it all falls back to what I was saying. There's been a lot of stuff, weird stuff that's been going on. Like earlier, I was asleep, and I happened to wake up, and I came outside and I saw them same lights in the sky again. And then I happened to look down, and it was 12 o'clock, and I was like, well, what the hell? I'll just jump on Facebook and see if they're live. And lo and behold, you're having a show. That also happened. This 2 Sundays ago, me and my little boy stayed up a little bit later to watch some movies or whatnot. And he happened to say, Dad, I got a bad feeling. And I said, well, what's the bad feeling? He told me, Dad, I think I got a bad feeling we're being watched. And I couldn't understand why an 8-year-old is telling me this. And he said, well, just look out the windows just to see if, nobody's out there. I said, okay, I wanted to be sure, to make him feel safe. So I looked out our dining room window, and this is the same window where these grays materialized from outside the window inside my dining room area. Um, there were two medium-sized grays standing in my backyard because I'm actually outside right now, out front right now. But in my backyard, it kind of, like I told you the last time I called into the show, it kind of goes up to like a little slope and it flattens out at the top of the slope. Well, they were standing at the top of the slope. I flashed what's called a neon flashlight. It's a survival flashlight. I flashed the flashlight. They wasn't there. But once I turned the flashlight off, they were there. So I'm thinking, okay, are they using some kind of cloaking device to cloak themselves? I mean, are they walking amongst us now with some sort of like cloaking device? I don't know.
That's pretty crazy.
And then
Is
yeah,
that
that
let me
is
ask you,
crazy.
is that the first time you've ever seen actual grays? Because I know you had
Mhm.
visitations from other things, but is this the first time you've actually seen a gray itself?
No, the very first time I saw a gray, the very, very first time I saw a gray, I was, I want to say 13 years old. And I was in what's called a juvenile boot camp program where, troubled juveniles, they get in trouble and the judge gives them second chances and they send them to like this military style boot camp. That was the first time I saw a gray. Now, the first time I saw one up close was when my blinds were open in my dining room window because our dining room is attached to our living room. It's one big room. And I happened to see these figures kind of looking in from my window, and next thing you know, they materialized in my living room, basically in the dining room, which is connected onto my living room. And like I told you guys the last time I called into the show, I told you guys about it, and that was the actual first time I've actually seen them up close.
Okay, but so this
Um,
seems to be like actually when we talked about grays, we talked about abductions and these things. It seemed like people were either predisposed, like maybe genetically, or maybe they were some sort of maybe they were part of this genetic manipulation thing going on. So maybe you've been targeted from even before birth. Because remember, we talked about it kind of happens in lines in families and kind of sticks to those lines in families. So if
well,
you're
see,
seeing,
that's a good point that you're making because I believe it was Frank that brought that up, wasn't it? Wasn't it Frank that brought that up?
yeah, that was one of the shows we did. Yeah.
Well, see, what's funny about that is Spiral on Discord he's the one that's been trying to get in touch with me. And like I said, I've been trying to keep low, and it's not that I was trying to be personal to any, trying to ignore anybody. It's just that I'm just trying to lay low for this trip until I get this footage or whatnot. But, that's a good point because my mother has me, my mother, and my young sister who went missing. My little sister, she went missing for 4 months. She was missing and all of a sudden popped up out of the blue, and she couldn't remember anything that happened to her. And then 2 months after that, she died of mysterious circumstances. My
Jeez.
mother, me, my sister, and my mother, we have O negative blood. Okay, so I don't know if it has to do with the genetics of us having O neg, of us being O negative blood or Rh negative blood, but that has a lot to do with it. But I think that these grays, to be in all honesty, I firmly believe that they are bioengineered organisms
Okay.
because of the way that they perceive themselves. Like I said, I got to see them up close for the first time about a month ago when all that went down in my house. And the tall gray, I believe I told you this before, when they did materialize inside my house, the tall gray was acting different than the shorter grays. The tall gray that materialized in there, he just kind of was like, he had this weird movement about him, like he was intrigued by me, like he was like looking at me, and he was moving his head, looking me up and down. It almost looked like he was making sure I was okay, or if I don't know if something was wrong with me, or if he was, I don't know, concerned or whatever, whatnot. But that's the impression that I know now that I had gotten then.
Okay.
Because like I said, when they materialized in my living room, and that tall one, I've never seen them up close like that. And when I saw them up close like that, their skin, the artist depiction of these things. One thing people need to understand is they don't look nothing like a depiction that people draw on the computer or on paper or ink or anything else. Their skin looks rough. I mean, it's like wrinkly. It's like a smooth, wrinkly skin, almost like a suit. Like
Okay.
it's yeah. So and it's weird to explain that unless you
Now,
see one up close.
right. I get you. So was this was the tall or the short grays?
It was three of them that materialized in my dining room. It was two short ones that were just standing still. It was like they wasn't. They kind of had they knew that it was almost like they knew the tall one was there, but it was like the tall one, they were looking down from the tall one. It was almost like they were trying to avoid the tall one, like the tall one was the dominant one. It's kind of hard to explain, but the tall one was more aware of what was going on than the two short grays.
Right. So
Now,
they're maybe
I'm
mind
starting
controlled
to
or hive mind or something to this effect, right? That's actually been
well,
talked about. We talked about that quite a bit. Where maybe it's been widely speculated that the taller grays are a hierarchy up and kind of control the short grays, right? So it kind of gave you that
yeah,
same
yeah.
vibe, right?
Yeah, that's basically the vibe I got. The vibe that I got was the tall one was the boss, and the two little ones were the peons, basically. That's the easiest way I can explain it. But like I said, I mean, it's like it almost now the tall one, his skin was the same. It looked like it had the same texture and the same wrinkleness, but it looked actually like a alien being, unlike the two short ones. The two short ones, they had the wrinkly skin and the skin was smooth looking, but they looked more like they were wearing suits. Is what it looked like. It looked more like they were wearing suits.
Okay. And so
Um,
this is
I,
this is actually several times now you've had contact and different. So not just grays, some other you had Men in Black contact and some looks like maybe some government
government
interference here.
people
Yeah,
and
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Hey, you want to
Well,
hang on the
well,
phone for
but
1 sec? Hang on the phone for 1 sec. We got a call. I'm going to put him on if you want to hang here. You're on Discord, so just hang out for a sec. Let's put this call on. They've been on waiting for like 20 minutes, but don't go anywhere.
okay,
Stay
that's
right
fine.
here.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, we'll take this call. Can you hear us? You're on Troubled Minds with Mike, and this is Benjamin, actually. How you doing, buddy?
Hi, I'm doing fine. I want to talk about something completely different.
Sure. What's on your mind?
Okay. I was actually just dwelling earlier today, thinking about, how they've done these holograph concerts with Roy Orbison and Michael Jackson hologram graphic stage shows.
Yeah, Tupac and
You're
some other stuff.
familiar with that.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. I've seen
And
the
and,
yep,
and
I've seen
I
the
was
video.
just wondering what you would think of this. If that type of thing becomes cheaper, scaled down, is it likely that in 5 or 10 years you can go to your local bar, all right, and that has a little stage, and you can watch a holographic show by the Rolling Stones?
Yeah, I see that coming for sure. Think about it, the futuristic jukebox, right? You walk up and you type in the Rolling Stones, and then bam, there they are on the stage in a holographic form. And if they do it right, you can't even tell the difference, right? That'd be amazing.
Wouldn't
That'd
that
be
be a kick
amazing.
in the head?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not. You go to a big stage show like that today, live one, and you're lucky if you could see these people. That's why they have the big screens for. And I often think when I'm at one of those concerts that, gee, if I could be home watching this on a big screen. because you can't see the people. Back in before all this big concerts, you could actually see the doggone performers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because of the venues weren't that big. I mean,
Right.
They were big for their time, but they were not outrageous like this. If you're in the back, you can't. But I'm thinking, wouldn't it be a kick in the head to be able to be up front and close like that, even though it is a holographic presentation?
Yeah, think of it this way too. So if you fast forward a little bit beyond that, everybody's seen Star Trek: The Next Generation, and the ones beyond that where they have the holodeck, right?
The holodeck.
Yeah, exactly.
Holodeck.
Yeah. So like maybe after the concert, you could get like an autograph from Mick Jagger, like out back or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Crazy.
But have you ever thought yourself? Maybe we're in a holodeck.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a show that's coming.
I mean,
we're going to do a show on that. Yep.
Well, there are physicists who are speculating now that we may actually, the universe itself may be one big hologram.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Well, I got you on the phone. What's your first name there?
Robert. You can call me Bob.
Okay, Bob. Thank you, Bob. Since we got you on the phone and we got Benjamin on Discord, let me do a quick test and make sure everything's fixed because we've had some problems here. Can you hear him, Benjamin?
Yeah, I can hear him good, Mike.
Okay. And how about you, Bob? Can you hear him?
I can hear him on my computer, but when I'm listening while he was talking, you talking about the fellow that saw the gray aliens?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, I was listening to him on the computer, all right, but I couldn't. All I could hear was your voice on the phone.
Okay,
when you were responding to him.
Okay, I appreciate that. So we're not completely fixed yet. So the phones work for me. Benjamin can hear you, but you can't hear him. Okay. Thank you, Bob. Appreciate that. Great call. And you're exactly right. Like, think about it this way, right? So imagine when somehow someday we're able to bottle like a consciousness, right? Then you can actually it turns into that. Like you said, we may be living in a holodeck. Well, what if you could resurrect people from the past with like the jukebox effect? It's pretty scary stuff, man.
Yeah, but
well, did you hear that they're trying to bring back?
I found myself thinking, years ago when I was dating this girl, and I was sitting there talking with her and her mother at a local restaurant, and I forget what brought this up, but suddenly my girlfriend turned to me and said, "Well, what about the demons?" Okay. What was going on there is she and her mother insisted they went into this particular place and there were demons, like giant demons or something, in this house that they went into. All right, and of course I'm just like, oh, I got to dump this girl, all right, because I figured they're that she and her mother are crazy or something.
Witchcraft.
But then but now I'm thinking to myself, everybody has their personal reality, and I've read studies of this concept that our reality is our reality. We create it ourselves, and maybe they really did see demons because they believed, and that was their reality. And maybe people see grays because they believe it, and that becomes their reality. It's their truth. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
because
exactly.
It's the principle that you create your reality because we're bigger. We as people are much bigger. What we are, we're creators. All right? That we're really, wherever we are not here. Or whatever we are, we're somewhere else. But we're creating the reality and the script and the whole line and the whole business. I'm getting a little probably off the wire, and I'm going to let you get back to that interesting fella that you were talking to.
Okay, you're good. I appreciate that, Bob. So no, you're completely right. Like maybe we're the ones projecting our own past, present, and future, right? Somehow it's linked into our brain. Yeah, I'm with you. I follow you, man.
I often think that during that last election, that there was a slight dip that put us in a parallel universe.
It seems like it, doesn't it? Again,
A lot of people
stay
felt
tuned.
that the next
I
morning.
got a rebuttal, Mike, before he gets off the phone.
A lot of people
Okay.
felt the
He
next
can't hear
morning.
you.
What and on that, what that
You
fellow's
can do it when he
talking
gets off
about,
there, Benjamin.
with the graves and
All right.
stuff. Ask him if you can. Has he ever noticed any time at all in his life, waking up? I know I put my watch on that stand. Why is it over there on the dresser? Ever notice that there's something every day just slightly different than you remember it was the day before? And ask him what he thinks of that.
Okay. You got it.
Because I often wonder if sometimes people slip into it. They're going through this. Is all your memories from when you had your first memories, are they all accurate, or do you try to have a different life each day? Do you wake up? Do you have you're married to Linda? All right. The next day you find you wake up and you're married to Betty, but you don't remember that there was a difference because you slipped into the other universe.
Right. I'm with you. Like I said, stay tuned because we're going to do a show on that, man. We're doing a show on like the simulation theory. It's coming. Appreciate that. Where are you calling from, Bob?
I hope I'm calling from Pennsylvania.
Bob from Pennsylvania.
I hope you announce that, won't you, ahead of time? Because I really want to listen to that show.
We won't. You got the best way to actually follow us is either follow us on Twitter, because when we go live, you'll get a notification, or right here on Facebook or on YouTube. Hit the little bell on YouTube, and you should get a notification when we go live.
Every time you guys start a show, it comes up on my Facebook page, an announcement that you opened the show.
Okay, that'll do it.
And I've been listening to it.
Appreciate it.
It's only the second show I've listened to, but it's fascinating.
Okay, appreciate it. Thanks for the call, Bob. You have a great night. We're going to have Benjamin here talk about your topics here. So
okay, Benjamin.
Hang tight. Thanks, Bob.
Okay, thank you.
Catch you later. Thanks. All right, go ahead, Ben. You said you had some takes on what he was talking about.
Yeah, he's got a good point on some of the theory that he was talking about, but it's all a theory until it's proven. Now, my thing is, now we've been through this topic before, okay? How can that account for thousands and thousands and thousands of people that have reported seeing basically the same beings that I have seen? And this just isn't something that just started. This has been going on for years and years and years and years and years. He does have a good point. But what I think what he's talking about is, I think because I did a little bit of research on this, I think he's talking about alternate universes and parallel universes, where you end up slipping into another parallel universe and you don't have no memory of the universe you was in beforehand, which if you're in one universe, basically alternate universes basically is what he's getting at, is the impression that I'm getting. And I believe Frank has talked about it, and you've also talked about it too. Like, let's say like there's 5 different universes. Okay. We each have ourselves living in each of those 5 universes. Maybe what he's talking about is me slipping into my other self in a different universe, and things seem different than the universe that I was currently living in.
Right, slightly like that show to go to sci-fi Fringe. It's the same sort of thing, right? So you can actually encounter your same personage, but in the other universe, if they end up merging or splitting wormholes, that type of thing, like that.
Or one dies, and the next version of you ends up being in that universe that one person was in. I think that's what he was getting at. But the thing that he needs to understand is people such as myself that actually see and go through these things and have been going through these things for years. Okay. Now I've said it once before, many times before on the show. I've been going through this for years now, for years. My mother's she went through it. My sister, my little sister, she went through it. My son's going through it, and it's only us that have O negative blood that actually goes through this. And I did a little research on this here a while back, Mike. Those who have, it's 2 certain types of blood types. It's RH negative and O negative people who have, it's people who have RH negative blood and O negative blood that actually have the most abductions, have the most visitations, who encounter, grays and is going through what I'm going through. There are other people that go through this, but not as extensive as people such as myself who have either O negative or Rh negative blood. Now, as far as the memory goes, I have vivid memories, and I will, with all my experiences, I've never really encountered this so-called parallel universe that I hear everybody talking about. Do I believe that there's different, parallel universes or alternate universes? Yes. Do I believe that I slip in those universes from time to time? No, I do not. And
Yeah,
the reason I say I don't, Mike, is because each like I said, I've studied this from each accountability, and each person that I have talked to, that I have did research on this, have told me that when they've experienced it, their lives were totally different. They was married to a totally different person, or they were single, or they lived like, low income, but then they would experience their other self in an alternate or a parallel universe to where they lived comfortably. One universe they could, be homeless. The next universe they could, be a millionaire. So it's never the same thing. Each universe is different. Each parallel universe is different. So
right.
that's
So
just my theory on it.
okay, and
I don't,
we talked about portals quite a bit. We did a whole show on portals, and I think right with Missing 411 and David Paulides. I know you heard that show.
yes.
Is
Yes.
is there seems to be people that disappear in these situations where it could be stepping through some sort of portal that maybe opens and closes randomly, and you don't know it. You make the you turn left and you're in it, and then you're gone, but you're in the next whatever it is, right? Wherever it is, wherever that thing leads you, and it could be time, it could be space, it could be both. But yeah, I mean that stuff exists for sure. I think it's as close to scientifically proven as we get, scientifically proven anything, but actually opening one of those portals and going into it is a completely different story. It's supposed to be the amount of energy necessary is supposed to be absurd. So like black
Well,
hole
see,
level.
that's funny that you say that as far as the missing 411. Now, when I heard, I didn't get to listen in on the show live that night, but I listened and I watched it the very next day, and I watched it from the beginning to the end. Like I said, my sister went missing. She was gone for a long time. When she was found, she had no memory of where she was at, no memory of how she ended up being missing. And then, a few weeks to a month after that, she died of mysterious circumstances. Okay. Now, do I believe that there are portals? Yes, I do believe there are portals. And I honestly believe that I think that's what my little sister experienced. Now, she died when she was 18. Okay. So that'll tell you how long ago it was when she passed. But I didn't really think about it. I mean, I knew a little bit about it then, but my primary research was on abductions because of everything that I was going through. And I didn't really understand the missing aspect of everything up until a few years back. Like I said, man, it's all a theory until it's proven fact. And you do have a point. When do scientists actually admit to being wrong? They never admit to being wrong. The only thing that they do is they'll say, well, we did this, and this is what caused us for the so-called experiment or whatever it is to fail. We're going to try this next time. It's never we were wrong.
Right, exactly. Exactly. And so part of the reason of the show, you know very well, you're preaching to the choir here, but that's exactly it, is that like somehow scientists aren't allowed to fail because they only publish things that work, right? It's like if they had to publish every time they failed, You'd never be able to find things that worked in the catalog because, the searches would be insane because it would be fail after fail after fail. Like I said, as humans, we fail, right? Like you open a history book and it's full of fail. It's just what it is. And so here we are instead trying to, and science is the one that actually gets to frame that narrative, right? So of course,
exactly,
you don't hear about the fails. You only hear about success. And that's part of the problem, right?
Here's a thing I wanted to tell you guys. I didn't really want to say anything, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you now that I'm on the show. I remember I called in here a while back about my little boy being abducted. Well, we had CPS came in because he was having problems with school after that happened. Now, he's never really acted out in school. He's a good kid, he's never really acted out. Well, the school called CPS. Now, initially, with me and my take on CPS, I don't trust CPS, but when she brought up the fact of he was having dreams while he was awake, and he was screaming for his life in these dreams while he was awake in class, that right there, I had to, sit down and talk with her a little bit about what, not really what happened to him, but, to try and figure out a way to help him cope with some of the issues that's going on. Because at that time, his grandfather, my father, he's real sick, and he loves his pawpaw to death. And, and I think that might have a lot to do with it. But we went through hypnosis regression therapy. We took him to hypnosis regression therapy, and I sat through the whole therapy session. This was a 2.5 hours therapy session that I paid for cash money for hypnosis. The lady that did it, we had to sign a clause stating that it couldn't be recorded. So basically, this is just I'm just speaking here, okay? But this actually happened. He actually went through a hardcore abduction. When he was going through it, he specifically said that he was inside of a solenoid, what he could say as a machine, basically, which I interpreted it as being a UFO. He said that it was bright, which I can say I have to agree with that, because when I was abducted, that's what it looked like. It was a bright room. He also stated that he was standing naked on a platform, which that's exactly the same thing that happened to me. He also stated during this regression session that they were basically cutting him open and putting needles and tubes inside of him. And, it got to the point to where after the 2-hour session, I had to end it. She wanted to go longer. The therapist wanted to go longer. I ended it. Now, because of it, he's on medication. We had to put him on medication. So, that's one thing that people don't understand. And I'm sure that there are some listeners out there who are listening in either on Discord or YouTube or, Facebook, that more than likely have gone through what he's going through and what I'm going through, or have a child that's going through that.
Yeah.
One of the signs to look for that I was told, that if you're an abductee and you feel that your child is being abducted, one of the signs to look for is school activity. That's the main sign that the therapist told me to look for, because she basically stated that if you have a child that's the best child, that before any of it happened, that they was the best child in school, all of a sudden they're having these weird dreams to where they're wide awake, but yet claiming that they're dreaming while they're awake, that is a possibility of a strong sign of being abducted. But that sign is only shown in children and not adults. I find that strange.
I see. So let me go back to that regression there with the child. So you have to put the child on medication now. So these memories stick? Are they, so that the child is now aware of what the regression session actually brought forth? So is it like crystal clear, or is it fragmented, or, I mean, obviously would affect the behavior if it, like, to be frank, scared the
Well,
piss out
some
of
of
them,
it,
right?
some of it is fragmented, but most of it is actual. He now can remember most of it. I mean, that's the thing about hypno regression that people don't realize. Once you regress your memory through hypnosis, it sticks. Some of it may be fragmented, but most of it sticks. Once you get past the fragment issue, like when they first put you under, they will ask you, okay, where was you at when this started? Explain to me from this point where it started to what it led up to. The beginning of it is what's fragmented, but
Okay.
once they get into it, is what actually brings the memory back, and it sticks. And because of it, we've had to put him on medication
I
because of
see.
it.
I see. Because it's obviously not easy to handle. Okay, let me cut in here and do a quick blurb. So we're on the phone here with Benjamin. He's on Discord. But if anybody wants to call in and ask him a question or two or whatever, or show feedback or whatever, when you're on Discord, it's whatever. When you're on the phone, it costs me money. So that's why I'm not trying to kick him off. But if you're on the phone, or if you want to get on Discord and get in here and join the show, you're welcome to do that as well. But if you do want to do old school, 702-957-1037, go ahead and join us. And tons of stuff. So we started with Seth Rich. We kind of talked about science a little bit and how they create their own narrative, and so the failures they have aren't really advertised. Of course, they only want to advertise the success. And so again, the whole reason of doing the show is because these narratives are pre-selected for us. Everything that the media tries to tell us is I don't want to say a sham, but let's just say propaganda for sure. Because there's some true stuff in there too, but for the most part you get a lot of spin. And I'm sure everybody knows, if you're here listening to this and not CNN right now, you probably agree with me, right? Or Fox News or whatever, like fill in the blank, whatever mainstream source. But yeah, that's what we're doing tonight. So we're talking about whatever. It's open topics. I got Benjamin on here with me. He's an old friend of the show. He's had some abduction experiences and all kinds of stuff. Not just him, his family, his mother, his sister, and it seems like we said previously, it almost seems like it's a family thing. So if you guys have comments on this, you've got questions for Benjamin, if you're okay with that. You're okay with that, Benjamin? People calling and asking questions?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it.
Okay, so if you want to do that, jump on Discord. You can find the Discord link at troubleminds.org, or just get on the phone, 702-957-1037, and we'll do it that way. But yeah, we're just kicking it. It is open topics, so we're open to whatever you want to talk about, and just kind of shooting the shit with Benjamin here. So,
I did see something interesting concerning your old friend Noah from Apex TV earlier when I was on YouTube watching YouTube. He actually did make Coast to Coast again.
Again, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, or that's what you said. Yeah, definitely.
The picture of the T-Rex that he supposedly took.
Yeah, I
mean,
see.
if you look at it, you could tell it's fake. I mean, the shadow is a dead giveaway. I finally commented. I actually got to talk to George Norrie, and I asked him, I said, why do you keep talking about this guy? And he said, the truth needs to be brought out. And I asked him again in another email. I said, okay, what proof is he actually providing you? He was like, well, he's really not providing me any proof. I said, but yet everybody else, like myself, other abductees, the missing 411 guy, he was even on a show. We're all providing you proof that this is going on, but yet here lately, it seems like you've been focused on Noah from Apex TV, who's only trying to make a profit from it. Unlike me and the other people that we're not trying to profit from it. What's the deal here? And he just kept saying, well, we just trying to get the truth out there. We have a broad audience who listens to a various topics in on the show. And, this is one topic that was voted in was time traveling. And I said, okay, well, if you want to lose your show due to Noah from Apex TV, then you go right ahead and lose your show from Noah through Apex TV, because he's a fraud. That's basically what I
Whoa,
said to him.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait.
He's
We
a
talked.
fraud.
Hold on. We talked about this quite a bit. We don't want to get anybody in trouble. When you call somebody a fraud, you have to say Noah from Apex TV is a fraud. In my opinion.
Noah from
my
Apex
opinion.
TV is a fraud.
In my opinion. You got to say, in my opinion. Come on,
In
add
my
that.
opinion.
There we go. Right? It's one thing to make a general claim like that. It's another thing to say, in my opinion. So anyway, I'm not sure
come on though. I mean, think about it. The guy sits there. I mean, anybody can laser print and draw up a photograph using a computer and have it printed out on the printer. So, I mean, like I said, apparently the guy ain't got no money. The guy, Noah, supposedly he was stuck here and he ain't have no money and he was trying to get home. And I think that's part of the reason why he ended up going on not really going on the show, but he talks about the guy a lot, is to try and help the guy out. But I'm like, dude, just somebody please just shut up, cause this kid to shut up, give him some lunch money so he'll shut his damn mouth. I mean, literally, just give him some lunch money, tell him to go to Burger King or McDonald's or wherever it is he likes to eat at in the future, and just tell him to shut up.
Well, it's kind of the same thing as like standing on a corner holding the sign, right? He just does it on YouTube.
Exactly.
So, yeah, whatever. I mean, okay, we got a question for you on Facebook here. I'll read it to you real quick here. Robert wants to know, Benjamin, I'm curious about your son's report of being cut open. Did you find scarring on his body? If not, then somehow those aliens have technology that close incisions cleanly, leaving no scar.
Yes, we have found scars on his body. Yes, I have also shared those pictures on Discord. Now it's up to Frank and Mike whether or not they want to share those pictures. Because Frank basically said that was kind of close to home and he didn't know if he wanted to share those pictures or not. He also has a scar, what appeared to be I want to say some sort of a laser burn on the back of his neck, coming from the base of his skull down to where his spine meets his shoulders. We don't know how that got there. We just took a picture of it 2 days ago. But we have physical doctor's notes. We have physical pictures, video. We have all that. So, and I did share some of those pictures on Discord with everybody on Discord.
Okay, there you go. Thanks for the question, Robert. So if you guys want to see some of this stuff, again, this conversation goes on 24 hours a day on Discord. So if you're not on that, it's a free chat program. It's a free voice client. It's how Benjamin and I are on the show right now. It's how Frank and I run the show. And so you can get on the show that way, voice style, but you can also just chat. Just type in and chat with other people that are there. And there's lots of people there. There's dozens of people that are active. And they talk about all kinds of things, like some of the abduction phenomenon we're talking about, and they talk about all kinds of everything else, right? People share links there, discussions go on about sometimes politics, sometimes basically all the crap that you're not allowed to talk about, right? It's kind of an open forum of zero censorship, and nobody's there judging anybody else. So get in there and go to troubleminds.org, top right corner, click the Discord link. It's a free download, and it will invite you to the server. So get in there, because you can see some of the stuff.
I want to jump. I don't mean to cut you off, Mike, but I want to jump back to the flashlight ordeal with the grays in my backyard real quick.
Yeah. Okay. So let me recap. So he saw some grays in the backyard, and he put a flashlight on them, and they kind of vanished when the light went over them. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so and then so your initial theory, or the first thought you had, was that maybe they have some kind of cloaking technology
technology. Exactly.
Yeah, right?
Exactly. I mean, think about it. If they have cloaking technology for their ships, okay, who's to say they don't use it on themselves to keep from being seen? Only when they want to be seen. And it was this one particular. It's the flashlight that I have. It's basically a survival flashlight. It shines a blue wide beam of spectral. What did the guy say? Spectral bright light, which looks like a neon light. And when I flashed it out of the window, because when I flashed it out of my dining room window, you could see the whole backyard. Um, I flashed it at them, and it was almost like they vanished. Couldn't see them. And as soon as I turned it off, they were there. They were right there, right there. That's the biggest thing that tripped me out about it. So I'm guessing that it was some sort of, they have some cloaking technology to where they could actually be walking amongst us and we don't even see them. I mean, think about that too. I mean, who's to say they don't? They use that same technology for their UFOs,
Yeah,
their
I mean,
spaceships.
you think about it, and just technology wise, like we're pretty close to being able to cloak, right? We've got stealth fighters, stealth bombers, which are actually invisible to radar, right? And we have MIT has said that they're working on cloaking technology, but it's pretty decently well known that DARPA is actually a government agency that's been working on all kinds of stuff like this, and they're mostly known to be about 35 to 45 years ahead, is what I've heard, in technology from what the actual public has. So if we're close, MIT's close to actual some sort of cloaking technology, like the Predator or something, right? Like straight out of the movies. Then maybe DARPA's got that, and it's been around for a while. So if we're close to that, and maybe probably have that, I think that aliens having that is kind of a no-brainer. Like if their technology is what it's supposed to be, then if they don't want to be seen, they aren't seen, and that's that, right? To me, it's pretty like open and shut case. Is if they don't want to be seen, how would we be able to find them with feeble technology compared to theirs? It just doesn't make sense.
Well, it's just like that one show you guys did about where the radar thing compared to the new type of radar that the government's testing now. I mean, we're so far advanced. We're way advanced for our time. And this is a known truth. It's been a known truth for the past 40, 50 years. Half the technology we have today is from back engineered technology from aliens. Now,
Yeah,
I
Bob
hate to
Lazar,
say this, but it's the
Bob
truth.
Lazar, Area 51, Bob Lazar. Yeah,
It-
yeah.
you know, I mean, that's the only thing that I can explain. Like I said, man, when I flashed it out that window and I shined it for a good, I want to say about 5 minutes, and they were totally gone. But once I turned it off, they were right there in that exact same spot.
That's crazy.
And I was that is crazy. And what really tripped me out is the way that they reacted to it. They didn't have no reaction to it at all. It was almost like, yeah, we can see you, but you can't see us type of reaction.
Yeah, well, I
I mean,
mean,
it was like
yeah. Again, I think if you're seeing them, they want you to see them, right? We did
well,
that fourth dimensional video where you kind of move in and out of that the tesseract and that whole thing where you don't even see when you actually push an object into the fourth dimension when you're in the third dimension. It ends up disappearing, but it's still in your physical space, right? So I like if you go back to that interdimensional being thing, which they probably are, they most likely are, in my opinion. It ends up that if they want to just step into that fourth dimension, it's like stepping behind a curtain and you'd never know they were there. But the whole time they're able to
exactly.
observe you. So yeah, I don't. Like again, it doesn't surprise me if there's some sort of cloaking technology they're using, or maybe a dimensional business, or whatever's going on with that. It doesn't surprise me, but definitely
Well,
doesn't.
what tripped me out about that whole thing that night was that I was for sure, I was positive they was going to materialize back in my house, but they didn't. Now, I did black out, and I don't remember anything after that, but I did black out. Now, I do have some weird marks on my knee, man, from where it looked like something was either drilled in my leg or lasered into my leg. But when and it feels like something, it's actually on my left shin, and it feels like something's there, and it feels hard. It doesn't feel like bone, and it irritates the shit out of me. And I tried to dig it out earlier, and it wouldn't. It was like the more I dug, the less it would move. It was like it wouldn't. The less it would come out. The more I dug at it, the less it would come out. So something's actually in my shin, but the more I keep digging at it, it won't come out. I mean, I'm digging at it right now, and it's like it just, I don't know, it feels weird on my shin, man. It's almost like somebody took a piece of metal, cut open the layers of my skin, put it up underneath my skin, sewed my skin back together, or laser closed it back together. But it's a circle, is basically the feeling that I'm getting. It's the most irritatingest feeling in the world. And the more I dig at it, the less it comes out. Now there was some weird, there was some weird, like yellowish, bluish pus that came out of it earlier, which kind of scared me a little bit, and I started to go to the doctor, but I didn't go.
I was going to
But I
say, see a
stopped
doctor,
digging.
man. See a doctor. Get that thing looked out.
Well,
Maybe an X-ray will
I
reveal
was
what's
going,
going on.
I was going to, but you know, I just paid a hellacious fee for him to go through hypnosis. And you know, right now we're kind of living on Roman noodles, if you get what I'm saying. You
Yeah, I
know,
got you.
the past month, man. I mean, it's to and from taking him to the doctor and medications, and you know, I don't actually have insurance right now. So, you know, I had to drop my insurance. So, you know, it's like now whenever we go, we have to pay them. So it's kind of hard to do it right now. And I thought that I would be able to dig it out, but apparently I'm not able to dig it out. But
I got you,
he
buddy.
has, like I said, he's got that burn on the back of his neck. And if the guy that answered that question, if he's on Discord, if he scrolls up, it's pretty far back on general chat, but there are a couple pictures on there that shows my son's shoulder from when he told me, you know, about his weird dream or whatever, whatnot, and we checked him out, and it showed those weird burn marks and stuff like that. You know, they're there unless they were removed. They should still be there.
No, we don't remove anything. You could come in and say, Michael Strange, you're a dick, or worse, and we don't remove it. We don't censor anything.
But,
You get in the Discord, you post it up. The only thing I ask is you be polite to everybody. You can rib me, you can rib Frank, but be polite to everybody else. That's it. We don't remove information. If you put it there, it's still there. So yeah, we don't do the censorship game because it's important. It's important that people are able to say what they need to say and communicate what they need to communicate. Period. It doesn't matter how crass or ugly that might be. Sometimes you gotta say ugly things to get a point across, you know, and that's what censorship is all about. And we don't believe in that. That's bullshit. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, what I wanted to talk to you and Frank about was when we go on this trip, we're supposed to leave. We're all supposed to meet up, and we're supposed to leave in August, and we're going to stay gone about 2 weeks. What I was going to propose to you and Frank is maybe do a live stream session while we're there. I don't know if you guys would be able to do that.
Maybe, yeah. Okay, so you know where to find me. Just get me on Discord, and maybe, I'm not sure how, but I'm sure the technology exists. So if it can be done, we can do it.
You could stream it. I'm pretty sure you could stream it. I could stream it through Facebook, and I'm pretty sure that you guys can attach you guys' stream to it. I just haven't figured out how to do it yet. And I was going to talk to you and Frank about it, about maybe just, you know, or either that, if it don't do that way, maybe, you know, send you guys some video or whatnot, and we talk about it on the show when we get back or whatever. But
you got
I was kind of hoping.
You got it, man.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping to stream it.
Yeah, if we can, if we can set that up, yes. Stay in contact with us when you go. Maybe we can do like a remote test or something, and before you go, and you got it, buddy. You got it. So if you're out on the tip of the spear and you're doing actual UFO investigations, taking video on scene, you're damn right we want to stream that if we can. So stay in touch. Let us know exactly what's going on and when. Like I said, I'll make some time. We'll do some tests beforehand to make sure everything works. But yeah, of course, man. And if we can't stream it, then definitely get the video. Let's get that on YouTube. We'll get you back on and we'll talk about that stuff. Because, again, like Frank said, drive up there and look at the damn thing. Like if there's UFOs coming out of the damn mountain, well, let's find out what's going on. And if you're going to be there, you're damn right we want to hear about it.
Exactly. And that's what I was. It took me a little while to convince one of my friends, because one of my friends is ex-military, and he advised me to take GoPros, which that's what we're going to do. We're going to use GoPros, but he's got this tool that he basically kept from his time of service, that he can be anywhere, even if there's no, I guess what you call internet service. He can bounce off satellites to stream it, is what he's claiming. Now, I haven't seen this technology that he says that he has, but he says that he has it, and he's got the hookup kit and everything for it. But it took me some convincing to him for him to even go. And he was like, "Oh, I don't believe in that bullshit. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in this. I don't believe in that." But then when he started, because I begged him and begged him and begged him to do a little research on it and then come to a conclusion. And if he still wanted to go, he's more than welcome. So he saw a couple videos on it, and he actually reached out to the guy that actually took the video, and he's telling me that the guy responded back, yes, the video is real, but that was all that was in the email when the guy sent him the email back. He did state that the video is real. The one guy that shot the video during the family picnic or whatnot.
Hmm.
He did say that the video is 100% real. And he said, if you don't believe it, come up here and check it out yourself. And that's what convinced him right there to go on the trip with us. So,
Well, I mean,
but
this is the thing, right? About UFOs and about ghosts and about all that. Like, you don't have to believe to investigate it. Like, what's the point, right? If you're trying to like feedback loop yourself and fool yourself and convince yourself, you can do that without even doing any of that. But if you're going to look at these things, you want people that don't believe with you, right? Like
exactly.
Because they can actually verify these things and say, you know what, I thought this was bullshit, and then I went and checked it out, and holy crap, guys, this is real, right? That lends a ton of credence to investigation. So yeah, I mean, trying to convince people to go, they think they're wasting their time. That's one thing, but it definitely adds to the conversation when you get somebody else that sees these things and can't explain it, right? There's tons of that, right? Like you hear a lot of, again, right? Like you're familiar with this. Many people that listen to us are familiar with this. You get smeared. If you talk about UFOs, you get smeared. Oh, tinfoil hat, alien believer, conspiracy theorist, whatever, right? But just saying there's things in the air, we don't know what they are, doesn't make you any of that. It makes you acknowledge the fact that these things are happening and we need to get to the bottom of it. That's all. It's,
well, see,
again,
the main reason I want to go and I want to do this, people tell me all the time, you're stupid. Why would you want to risk your own life to do this? For one, I see it like this. I've been having problems from day one when it comes to this type of topic. Okay. Nothing but issues with it. I've been major abductions, visitations, men in black encounters with government officials, weird things. My power, remember I told you, called in, they cut the power to my house. They tried to threaten me. They actually physically tried to threaten me and my family. It didn't work. I want to know. I want to get so close to where I can touch it. And what people need to understand is, in my situation, yes, I do have a family. I do have children. Okay. I wouldn't be so into this trip if it wouldn't be for the fact of my 8-year-old son was involved. But once my 8-year-old son got involved, I want to know why, I want to know who, and I want to know for what reason. Okay. And I'm being pulled. I feel like I'm being pulled, Mike. I feel like this is something that for myself, I have to do. I have to know the truth. I have to know why. Why me? Why me? I have to know this. And people ask me all the time, even people I work with, why are you going? If you think this is going on, why do you want to risk yourself from being whatever it is you're claiming, abducted or whatever? Even from my own family, I get ridiculed from it. I told some of my family that I was going on this trip. They asked me why. I told them why. Okay. And they think that I'm crazy. There's people out there that literally think I'm crazy. I may be crazy, but I want to go. I want to know why. I want to get so close. I want to physically go inside. If it opens, I want to investigate it. I want to take V-roll footage. I want to touch it. And if I come across an alien being, I want to know why, when, who made the decision, and why they made that decision.
I was going to say, if Frank were here, he's like, and if I see an alien, I want to be able to grab its neck and strangle it.
Exactly.
Right?
And if I have to, put a cap in one of them's ass.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
See, that's another thing that tripped me out too, was it was asked after the last time I called into the show, because the first thought when they materialized in my living room was, okay, why didn't you grab a gun and just shoot one of them? I wasn't, when you're put in that situation, okay, for the first time, and you're that close, like I said, I wasn't within feet of it, Mike. I mean, this was like not even, I mean, what, 10 feet, 15 feet? You know, I was just in shock. It wasn't that I was like non-responsive or unaware, because I was aware. I was just in shock that they actually had the balls to physically materialize inside my house while my child is sitting there wide awake. I'm standing there looking at this gray alien like, who the fuck are you? Because I've never seen a tall one before. Now, I have seen the short ones, but, you know, kind of like in the backyard, or you know, they'll look inside my windows, and then when they see that I notice them, they're gone. But as far as them actually physically materializing in my house, that takes a lot of guts for them to do that. And that right there tells me they have the technology. If they can do that, they have the technology to do other things, nefarious things, not innocent things. People can say what they want to say about these grays. These grays are nefarious beings. And the reason I say they're beings is because they're not living tissue. They're a bioengineered organism who take orders to do nefarious things for those that are in charge. Almost like politicians. I hate to say that, but it's true. Okay. I was in shock. And I got this a lot from people that was calling into the show the last time I called in, you know, that listen in on the show, you know, sending me personal messages on Facebook, on Discord. They were sending me personal messages on Discord. Well, you know, why didn't you pick something up and knock one out? Why didn't you reach for a pistol or a shotgun or something? I was surprised. I was in shock. I was in the type of shock like I was surprised. Okay. Now, like I said, the look that this tall one gave me when he was in, I'm still fathomed by this, because the look that he gave me, he was physically looking me up and down. Like, the easiest way I can explain it was him sizing me out or sizing me up, I guess, and I don't know, intimidation or something. Like, I'm not scared of you, you're scared of me. But once I showed it that I wasn't scared of it, because I was literally in my mind like, who the fuck are you? You know, I've never fucking seen you before. This is the first time I've ever fucking seen you. I've seen the little ones, but not you. And I think that kind of shocked it, because once I said that in my mind, it kind of turned its head to the side and just kind of looked at me with this like death stare. I mean, it was like, and I've had people tell me before, did you look at it in its eyes? Because once you look at it in its eyes, once you look at a gray in their eyes, that's where they get you. I looked at it face to face, eye to eye. I want to say before I blacked out for about maybe 7 minutes before I blacked out.
7 minutes.
So, you know,
what was it? Wait. So what was actually going on then? So this thing, so it was standing there just staring back? That's a long time.
We were
man.
standing. Yes, I know. Well, what happened? Let me recap here. Okay. When I called into the show, all right, this was after it happened. Okay. Our blinds were up in our dining room window. We have what's called a nook corner table with like a stool that wraps in the corner with the table right there and a bench on the other side. There's a window that's right there in behind the bench up against the wall. The blinds were up. My little boy said, "Dad, what's that?" and I happened to look, and there was these grays looking in from outside through my window. And like I said the last time when I called into the show, it's kind of odd because our dining room window is like 12 feet up off the ground. And next thing you know, they just materialize out of nowhere in my dining room. And that's where all this came about. And I'm like, okay, well, when I noticed that there was one that was extremely tall and the other two were short, and the other two were kind of were like looked down on, was the impression that I got, because they wasn't even, it was more like they were more scared of the tall one than they were of me. It just, and the way that this thing was looking at me, he was like looking at my body, he was looking at my face, he was, like almost like a generalized how can I put it, like he was checking me out type of deal, I guess, either to help, I don't know, it almost looked like he,
like a
I can't
doctor or something, right? Like a doctor sort of
yeah,
thing, like kind of an examination.
yes, almost like a doctor. Yes,
Yeah.
how a doctor would look at you when you go in for a physical.
Yeah.
Basically, he was looking at me, almost giving me like a physical, and I'm like standing there, like, whoa, wait a minute! I'm in shock. I'm standing there in my living room, standing up, and the more I'm looking at this thing, and it's looking at me, I'm getting pissed. I was pissed off at this point because A, my son was awake. B, they allowed themselves to show themselves to my child. And that's where that's what really is pushing me to go on this trip. And ever since that happened, it's like something's drawing me to go.
Yeah.
It's like I'm being, I can't explain it, Mike. Something's drawing me to go.
I got you, man. You want answers. You want answers. You want to defend your kids. I don't blame you, man. And then, but two, right? It seems like I heard this recently. I can't remember where I heard this, but it almost seems like there is a draw to this, and you don't know if it's like a compelling draw where, maybe you're on the tip of the iceberg of information, or it's, you want to defend your family. But maybe these entities are taking you to these places for a particular reason. You know what I mean? So anyway, I want to say about that, be careful. Just be careful, man. Stay in touch with us. Let us know when you go and all that stuff. We'll try, and if we can live stream it, man, we'd love to. If not, get some video footage. Be very careful, and we'll play that stuff when you get back. Like, it's like I said, it's tip of the spear stuff. If you're like boots on the ground, like actually investigating UFOs, that's what this is all about, because a lot of that stuff is sensationalized, and a lot of it's censored, a lot of it's just outright fabricated. And so if we can get like an actual boots on the ground account, man, that's what it's all about. We appreciate it. And the
somebody, I'm not trying to cut you off, but somebody in Discord kind of sent George Norrie a message letting them know that I was doing this. And that's where it came into the conversation about me and him and Noah, because I was originally invited to go on the show, and I declined to go on his show. Then when it came out that I was doing this trip, or in the planning stage of the trip, he actually reached out to me and physically, sent me a chat invite over Yahoo Chat. And that's where this conversation with me and him became of Noah. So somebody on Discord kind of let the word get out. That's a lot of reason why I'm trying to kind of lay low right now too, is because, like I said, I kind of want this, but the bird's out of the hat now. But I was kind of wanting it to be as discreet as possible. That way I don't bring that much attention on me and my friends and stuff when this does happen.
Well, again, okay. So let's keep it under wraps on when you go. Let us know. We won't leak us to a single soul. And if we can do it live, we'll do it live. If we can't, we'll do some footage after the fact. But the most important thing is just be safe, man. Don't do anything stupid. Don't stick your neck out.
I see it like this, Mike. I've been through too much already, and whatever the consequences are, I'm willing to accept. If that means that something bad happens, then I'm willing to accept that. I want answers. I don't know how everybody else feels about that, but with everything that's going on, everything that's happened, I want answers. And if that means me having to accept the consequences behind my actions, I'm a grown adult. Okay. I'm the only one that could say whether or not I accept the consequences or not. If I don't accept the consequences, I'm not going to go. I have to be able to accept my consequences as a grown adult, to sit back and say, okay, whatever happens to me, I accept the consequences behind it. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to accept my consequences behind it. Whether I make it out, whether I don't make it out, whether something happens to me and or whatever. I'm just putting that out there.
Okay.
It ain't nothing personal towards anybody. Like I said, I've gotten a ton of messages on, personal messages on Discord from people who listen into the show wanting to know why am I doing this? This is dangerous. Yes, it is dangerous. It's very dangerous. What we're going to be doing is very dangerous. As far as me advising other people to do it, I would not advise other people to do it as extensive as I'm going to do it, because like I said, I'm going to get up close and personal. But I'm going to go ahead and jump off here, dude. I know there's some other things you probably want to talk about, but I just wanted to call into the
Appreciate that. Okay, so that's yeah, I'm here with you. So if anybody wants to see more of what he's talking about, this is Benjamin. He's on first names only. He lives on the East Coast somewhere. If you want to hear more of what he talks about, he shares some of this stuff on Discord sometimes, and you can find it in there. Just join the Discord. Go to troubleminds.org, top right. And again, we're about finding answers here. And he's, again, tip of the spear. Anything you need, let us know, man. Anything you need. We'll live stream you if we can. If not, we'll be the first to put this stuff up and talk about it when you get it back. So first things first, be safe, okay?
That'll work, brother. I'm going to go ahead and jump off here. And once again, keep up the good fight, okay?
Appreciate that, man. Be safe out there, eh?
Yeah, man.
Thank you. Okay, so there we go. That's Benjamin from the East Coast. So he's going to go to an undisclosed location that's a UFO hotspot at an undisclosed time, and he's actually going to get video footage. He got a filming permit. He's talked to people, and apparently he's getting some pushback from some interesting sources, meaning maybe some big names in the game here, in the ufology game. I have no idea, right? Like, that stuff I haven't seen personally. We can take his account at face value, and I don't know. Like, these things, if this is actually what's happening in the UFO world, and these things are being protected closely by the powers that be, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say about that, other than it's a little bit terrifying, and in that he's sticking his neck out there, and he's already getting some pushback on some of the things he's going to do. So, yeah, scary stuff. Okay, back to orbiting the asteroid here. So we're gonna finish this up real soon here. So if anybody wants to jump on Discord real quick and whatever, we got about 5-8 minutes or so. So if anybody wants to get on the phone, still watching that, and yeah, I don't know. What do you think about the story? What do you think about Benjamin? What do you think about his filming permit and the whole deal? His family and his 8-year-old son, and there's a lot there, right? And this is not new with him. He's actually called in and had several incidents in the past, because we've been doing this show a little bit over a year now. And he's, like he said, his first abduction, or not abduction, but his first actual visitation experience he saw when he was a young teenager. So pretty crazy stuff. Let's go to the chat, see if anybody else is here. Let's see. Sean says, stay somewhere safe, plus carry a big stick. Yeah, man. Again, I think we all echo that. Be safe. Larry says, strap on a GoPro. All the more evidence. Validation. Exactly. Kimberly, what's up? Says, a good place to explore if anyone's interested is the Lake Michigan Triangle. It's in between Wisconsin and Michigan. I saw lots of UFO activity there. So there's lots of places, folks. And right, I live in one. But we stream from Las Vegas, and there's tons of weird stuff in the sky here. You like that? Tons of weird stuff in the sky here. It's and like, I'm from California, and the things that I see here are right. It kind of sometimes makes your skin crawl. Like, I've seen definite weird military stuff, but I've seen other stuff that I can't even say is military. So yeah, it's out there. If you guys get any of that information, if you got good photos, you got videos, you got good stories, that's what we're here for. We stream live because we want to hear from you. Just like we heard from Benjamin there. We heard from Bob earlier. We heard from Philip called in. Great calls, guys. We appreciate that. I appreciate that a ton. Helps me out here do the show because this is, again, like we could record this, put it out, edit it, and then that will be that. But if we do it live, you guys get to be included and tell us these stories. And yeah, that's why we're here doing it. So we will be back Sunday, of course. And this is what we do. You know what we do here. If you guys are here listening, you've been here once before. If you're not, we talk about all the things. The paranormal. We talk about aliens. We talk about the government conspiracies. All of that, right? And that's what we do. Let's see. What else? Kimberly adds, more paranormal activity there than the Bermuda Triangle. And that's that Lake Michigan Triangle between Wisconsin and Michigan. Thank you, Kimberly. Appreciate that. And yeah, so otherwise, we'll be back. Darwin wants to know what kind of booze. So the official beer of Troubled Minds Radio tonight is, what am I drinking? Negra Modelo is what I got. I call it Union beer. Nice and fits any occasion, nice and cheap at the grocery store. And we're, of course, not sponsored, but, if we were, it'd be cool. and wink, wink. If you're out there listening, Modelo. So yeah, and then Kimberly says it's said to be a portal, that spot in the Lake Michigan Triangle. So yeah, right. And these are the things. If you guys have information about this, that's perfect. Thank you, Kimberly. If you have videos, if you have photographs, if you have stories, any of these things, you can reach us. We'll read them. If you don't want to be on the show and actually be on here live with us, send us an email. We'll read your story on the stream, right? Like these are the things. Like we want to crowdsource the show. We want to share this information. And it's a way to get it out, right? Because if you like Benjamin was saying, if you go to George Norrie, right, you either get invited on the show or you get in for like a call for like 2 minutes and you can get cut off or whatever, right? Like if you have a compelling story and you want to tell it, or you have photographs and video and in depth, we can do a whole damn show on it. We can spend hours on it if you want. And so that's the thing, right? We're open to that. If you guys have good information, if you have solid information, if you have good stories, proof, photographs, videos, troubledminds.org. You can reach us by email at troubledmindsradio@gmail.com. And yeah, Discord, of course, join the Discord because lots of people share stories and stuff in there too. So yeah, there we go. Let's see. A little more chat here. Kimberly's drinking Bud Light. A little too light for me. and then Brett says, I'll call next time and explain. Yeah. So we'll be back Sunday night, and then we try and do at least two streams a week. And the next one that's probably going to be open type topics will be like Thursday-ish. So anyway, but whenever. We'll take your calls whenever. Yeah, Kimberly says my beer sounds better. Yeah, right now it tastes better because it's mine. And let's see. Yeah. And mental proof is fine. Brett says I have mental proof. Right, proof is a slippery fish, and if you have good compelling testimony, that's almost as good as a good photograph or a good video, right? So yeah, no problem, that's perfect. Yeah, Thursdays and Sundays, and yeah, we hope to get on and maybe do an extra one back to that soon. So, but for now, Thursdays and Sundays we're going 9 p.m. and midnight Eastern. So when we start and we go for a couple hours. So that's where we're at now. We appreciate you guys listening. Appreciate you guys sticking through. Appreciate all the amazing feedback and input and great stories and great photos and videos and every single thing you guys do. We appreciate all that because like I said, it makes you feel like you're not alone, right? Some of these things that happen to people, you feel like if you talk about it, you're a little bit crazy. We don't think that. We want to hear what you have to say. And Brett says mind readers are real. Yeah, like perfect. Perfect, man. And get on the phone and read my mind. We'll play a game. It'll be cool. But yeah. So yeah, there we go. Thank you, Darwin. Appreciate that. So we'll be back on Sunday. I'm going to end the show now with some outro music and some thank yous to some people that help us build this show, right? Because like I said, this is a crowdsourced show. Like all of your input, it goes into what we do in the future. So if you have good stories, send it to us. If you have good testimony, send it to us. If you have photos, videos, send it to us. We'll include them in future shows, and we'll put it together for you. But I also want to point out Dale. What's up, buddy? He says that chick was hot on Fringe. Yeah, I pinned that. That's right. That's right. Okay, so I'm gonna cue this outro music, and this is from a friend of ours on the show, Todd. And you can find him on SoundCloud at Radioactive Beats. And there we go. So we're going to play this as the outro. I want to say a shout out and a thank you to Aaron, who provides the intro music. You can find him on SoundCloud as well, Sorceress Records. Another shout out to Martin at Martin Gron Media. You can find him on Instagram. He provides the graphics that we use, the crop circle Troubled Minds thing and the moon Troubled Minds. And again, right, this is folks wanting to help out, wanting to share and help this show grow, because, well, hopefully we're talking about things that need to be talked about. That's what we do here. That's why we do it, and appreciate you listening. Appreciate you guys sticking in. So yeah, there we go. Here we go. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. You can support. Okay, if you want to support the show, Darwin asked, "How can I support the show?" Here's how you do it. Go to troubledminds.org. That's the official website. All right. Now we have a whole list of podcasts there. We need iTunes reviews. So just go to iTunes. You'll need an account. Leave us a review. It helps. Because if we have good reviews and a bunch of them, it helps other people see it, and pushes us to the top. You have to beat the technocracy's algorithm by kind of cracking it from the bottom. So you can help with that. But then we're also on Stitcher. We're on Google Play Music, I think it is. Hell, we're everywhere. You can stream us on Periscope, YouTube, Facebook, you name it. We're pretty much everywhere. But you can find all our links on troubledminds.org. So there we go. There we go. That's how you can support us. If you got information, give us a call on Sunday, Brett. No problem. We'd love to hear you. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you. The music, actually, this is Todd. Todd wrote this. This is, you can find this on SoundCloud. Look up Radioactive Beats. I'll put the link in Discord. So if you haven't joined the Discord, yeah, we're on Spotify, Sean. We sure are. So you can find us there as well. So if you can leave reviews there, that would help us too. We're actually growing a little following on Spotify. So it's happening in all the places. And if you guys can leave us reviews, spread the word, do all the things, appreciate that a lot. Frank should be back Sunday. We'll have a good show for you, hopefully. And for right now, thanks, darling. You said good job, Mike. Appreciate that, buddy. And Thomas says we have to institute new government. Now, I don't know about that, right? So I'm gonna stop short of that, because that sounds like revolution to me. And I think we should shake hands and be nice to each other before we point guns at each other. So, typically speaking. But I like your thought. We need to fix some shit, that's for sure. Thanks for listening, guys. You guys are the best. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange. I'm here without your co-host, the magnificent Frank Pierce, but he should be back Sunday. You guys are the best. Thanks for all the chat. Thanks for all the calls. Thanks for all the information. Thanks for all the enthusiasm. And, from our Troubled Minds to yours. See you Sunday. Have a great night.